The following contest is an Extreme Rules match and is for the WWE United States Championship.
Hello and welcome back to WWE 2K20 Universe Mode, and we are here at Hell in a Cell, and we are kicking things off with a very personal feud between these men. It is going to be no disqualifications. Randy Orton vs Aleister Black, United States Championship. Randy Orton doing this for Batista. Batista, the general manager of Monday Night Raw, once rid of Aleister Black. Aleister Black wasn't originally a Raw superstar, but since coming to Raw, he has been undefeated as United States Champion. And while Batista, he wants that over. He has had enough of Black, and he's sent his goon, Randy Orton, after Aleister Black. And a few weeks ago, it was supposed to be a tag team match, Randy Orton and Andrade versus Aleister Black and Tyler Bate, for Batista attacking Tyler Bate in the backstage area, putting him through a table, meant that it was a 2-on-1 tornado tag match. And because of that, it was the first loss Aleister Black has had on Monday Night Raw. And last week, Aleister took out Andrade in the backstage area to make sure that he could not be here at Hell in a Cell. And well, if I'm honest, I think Batista's probably a little bit scared to come out to get in the face of Aleister Black, as much as I'm sure he'd love to. Batista has not come face to face with Aleister Black in all of this. He's always been hidden in the backstage area. And he's not out here tonight for this one. We'll have to see if he puts his face out there later on, but for now, no Batista. But Andrade taken out backstage last week. So this should just be a one-on-one match, but it is no DQ. Anyone could get involved. We'll have to wait and see. Before we get started with this match, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below. All of it greatly helps the growth of the channel and is majorly appreciated. And of course, you don't want to miss out on part 2 coming up. And we'll be moving on to Survivor Series after that. Who wouldn't want to see either Aleister Black or Randy Orton going up against either Seth Rollins or Buddy Murphy? I, for one, am very interested in that match coming up at Survivor Series, but we'll have to see who is going to be the champions by the time we get there. But let's get things started with this one. Randy Orton seemingly getting the upper hands on Aleister Black in the beginning of this match. He's taken it to Black. Black not in a good position at the beginning of this match. Oh no, Randy moving out the way. Aleister catching himself on the ropes. Perhaps the mind games of Randy Orton and Batista and Andrade have gotten to Aleister Black. This is not an Aleister Black that we're used to seeing in the ring. Perhaps after taking his first loss here in Universe Mode, it has really affected Black. I don't know, I do not know, but I'm sure he is not going to give up easily. Aleister Black getting that kendo stick. Remember, everything is entirely legal in this match, but Randy getting it back and hitting Aleister Black straight into the gut with it, now attacking Black with the kendo stick to the legs. Randy Orton is not taking any liberties with Aleister Black right now. He is just going for him. My goodness, those kendo stick shots. Aleister Black finally being able to roll out the way, catching Randy with a knee to the stomach and managing to get the kendo stick back himself, and now looking to get some revenge with that kendo stick to Randy Orton. Aleister Black laying in those shots to the legs of Randy Orton, trying to prevent him from being able to go as fast around the ring. Now Aleister calling Randy back to his feet. What is he looking for here? Aleister Black sitting down for some reason, sitting back down in the ring, but luckily for him, Randy Orton still dazed. And now Aleister Black trying to come back into this match. Catching the leg, and down Randy goes. This would be a massive win for Aleister Black if he could beat Randy Orton and get his revenge against the man who pinned him 2 weeks ago. Aleister Black calling Randy to his feet. And oh, the big kick to the side of the head, the roundhouse. Is that enough to put away Randy Orton? 1, 2, no. Randy Orton managing to kick out of that one. Aleister Black clearly frazzled in the beginning of this match, but now he's going for that kendo stick again, but Randy rolling out of the way, was ready for it, but Aleister Black catching Randy straight in the middle of the eyes. But now Randy Orton reversing, getting the kendo stick himself. This has been a war of the kendo in this one. Oh my goodness. Aleister Black was just caught on that middle rope while Randy was whacking the kendo stick along the back of him. Oh, these two going at it right now. Lots of reversals between these two men. Wait a second though, Randy grabbing him. Drop kick to Aleister Black in the middle of the ring. Aleister wisely getting his way out of the ring, but Randy Orton dropping in the middle of the ring. Randy clearly tired. His legs may be giving up from under him after the kendo stick shots that Aleister Black did to legs. And wait a second, a ladder from Aleister Black. Randy Orton taking that ladder away from him though. Not wanting that, and Aleister Black trying to take advantage, kicks the legs, but Randy grabbing the head and throwing punches Aleister Black. Aleister getting Randy back into the ring and now getting that ladder once again. And in goes the ladder. Randy Orton making his way outside of the ring, trying to get away, but Aleister with that kendo stick catching Randy Orton again, middle of the eyes. Brutal from Aleister Black. He is not holding back in the slightest in this one. And again, oh my goodness. Aleister Black now going for that ladder while Randy is completely out of it. Randy having to use those ropes to get himself back to his feet, and now Aleister for some reason throwing the ladder out of the ring and catching Randy with the leg. Perhaps that was a distraction so he could catch him with that roundhouse to the side of the head. 1-2. Only a 2 count there for Aleister Black. Very close indeed, that roundhouse catching Randy from out of nowhere. Very clever from Black, trying to go for the distraction there. Trying to distract Randy while he threw the ladder out of the ring. Oh, and he dropped his leg onto the ladder, taking advantage of the placement of that ladder on the outside. Randy, his knee is going to be in a very bad way after that. After the kendo sticks to the leg and then dropping leg first, knee first I should say, onto that ladder on the floor. Ouch indeed. Aleister Black now with a table as well. What is Aleister thinking here, getting all these weapons out from under the ring? And the boot to the side of the face. Aleister now getting that ladder up and hitting Randy Orton straight over the head. Randy laying there on top of that table on the floor. Now Aleister, what is Aleister looking for here? This is a very different style of match than we've seen from Aleister Black before. This is not what I would have expected that he has managed to do. And wait a second, Aleister Black, oh my goodness. Catching Randy Orton again, taking advantage of these distractions that Aleister Black is doing. I say distractions, he's not doing anything particularly, he's not cheating in it, which obviously it's no disqualifications, but he is catching Randy Orton with these slight mind tricks that he's doing. And now Aleister Black setting up that ladder in the middle of the ring, going back out for the table that looks like Randy Orton on that apron. Perhaps not knowing what entirely is going on here. This is payback for Aleister Black, but you know, an RKO out of nowhere is all it is going to take. Both these men have taken a lot of punishment in this one. And now Randy with the table, throwing the table at Aleister Black, catching him in the side of the head. And now wait a second. Oh no, come on Randy, don't do this. Oh, vintage Orton onto the metal of the table, onto those legs of the table. My goodness, that is going to be painful for Aleister Black. And like I said, all it would take would be one move to change the course of this match back around again. But Aleister managing to grab the table from Randy. But Randy looking to get that table back, not wanting to deal with the table right now. And these two men just are fighting over this table in the middle of the ring. Neither one of these men willing to give up on this table right now, knowing the damage it will do. But Aleister Black deciding to run away, giving up on it, but Randy Orton still has that table in hand and hitting Aleister Black over the head. This time the mind games from Randy Orton are the thing that is working in favour. That table in the middle of the ring right now. Wait a second, RKO, but Aleister Black catches him, Aleister Black reversing. That was so close indeed. And now Aleister Black, what is he trying to do here? Trying to take Randy to the table. Putting him on top of the table. Is Aleister Black looking to put him through that table? It looks like it. Aleister going up to the top rope right now. Oh, wait a second. Moonsault, but he misses. He missed the table. Catching it with his foot. Landing just... Oh, that is not pleasant for Aleister Black, but he's got back up. Getting that kendo stick. Hitting Randy to the back. And calling him back up. Oh, he missed the Black Mass as well. Aleister Black completely disoriented right now. Oh, and he missed it again. Randy Orton ducks underneath it this time. He is disoriented. I don't know what has happened to Aleister Black. Those kendo shots, they must be coming back to haunt him because he missed that table by miles. And then missing the Black Mass by miles as well. And then Randy took advantage, ducking underneath the Black Mass. This is not good for Black right now. This is not what he needed. He needs to hit that Black Mass squarely. He was trying to go for it again, but Randy Orton catching him, pulling him over the back of Orton. Randy will not let this go. He is going to be your new United States champion. He's going to make Batista proud, the general manager of Raw. How annoyed is Batista going to be if Aleister Black manages to hold on to this title here tonight? I do not even want to know, and especially with Survivor Series coming up. That is Raw versus SmackDown, and Batista is going to be desperate to prove himself. Weston, Black Mass. Aleister Black caught him this time. Caught him with the Black Mass. Weston, though, Aleister not going for the pinfall. Why is he not going for the pinfall? Oh, I see Aleister wants one more. He wants to hit it one more time, and Black Mass again. And that has got to be it for Randy Orton. Is that it? 1, 2, 3, and Aleister Black is still your United States champion. Unbelievable. That was a brutal match between these two. They really left nothing behind. Randy's legs were destroyed in that one, and Aleister knocked a bit silly as we saw how much he missed with those moves. But in the end, he managed to catch the Black Mass and then hit once more to put the exclamation point on, and Aleister Black still your United States champion. I wonder how Batista is going to feel about that. Have to make sure to tune into Monday Night Raw to find out. But we move on now to our Women's Tag Team Championships. And I know you see there, Sasha Banks, the SmackDown Women's Champion, but this is not about the SmackDown Women's Championship. This is about the Women's Tag Team Championships. Sasha Banks and Nia Jax have had some real issues these last few weeks. Sasha Banks, well, she has to listen to what Nia's been saying. Nia has been going around saying that the Women's Tag Team Championships are the best champions on the entire WWE because they are undefeated. They haven't lost a single match as a tag team. So in them, so Nia Jax's mind, I should say, Dakota's been very quiet about all this, but Nia Jax has been yapping off about how they are the best. And wait a second, Nia Jax and Dakota looking to jump Bayley before the match starts, it looks like. It's like Nia Jax trying to catch Bayley with Bayley. Too far away for Nia Jax apparently. And there you go. Caught, distracted by Dakota Kai. And then caught on Nia going after Sasha Banks straight away, as you probably would have expected with what had been going on before. And of course Sasha Banks had issues with Nia Jax saying that she was the best. That her and Dakota were the best champions in the WWE. Because obviously Sasha is the SmackDown Women's Champion. She has been undefeated since winning the championship. And while she did not appreciate Nia's words, they ran into each other backstage, and Nia dropped Sasha with a big powerbomb in the backstage area, leading to a one-on-one match between the two of them where Sasha Banks managed to pin Nia Jax, one half of the Women's Tag Team Champions, which led us to this position. Sasha Banks and her best friend Bayley challenging for these Women's Tag Team Championships. We could see 2 belts Banks by the end of the night, the first woman in Universe mode to hold 2 championships at the same time maybe. Dakota going after Bayley in the middle of the ring. Bayley getting those knees up while Nia and Sasha on the outside going at it. I don't know who the legal women are right now, I have to be honest. We'll have to see once we kind of get things back into the ring. I don't know who the legal women are. I don't even know if this match has probably started yet. Bayley going outside. I do not know who the legal woman. Looks like Sasha is the legal woman. Bayley going back to the apron. I wonder whether it's Sasha and Nia who are supposed to be our women. I don't think this match has started officially yet, because Sasha Banks has not been inside the ring just yet. Yes, and I think that does confirm it for us. Nia and Sasha are supposed to be starting this match. Nia and Dakota really getting a cheap advantage to start this. And the match has officially started. Bayley clotheslining Nia Jax into the corner. And now Nia turning around her, taking her attention back to the SmackDown Women's Champion, Sasha Banks. And as much as this worked well for Dakota and Nia at the beginning, I have to say Sasha did manage to do quite a bit of damage to Nia on the outside as well. But now the match has officially started. Nia taking back control, and that powerbomb to Sasha Banks, just like she hit in the backstage area when Sasha Banks was supposed to be doing an interview about who she was going to face at Hell in a Cell. Nia trying to go for that tag to Dakota. But instead, Sasha Banks preventing it, going for that big bulldog instead. Now slamming Nia Jax's face straight onto the mat. Going for the tag to her best friend, Bayley. Of course, you have to remember these two been together for quite a long time, Sasha and Bayley. But they've been best friends for even longer. Dakota and Nia, they just ended up finding each other as tag team partners during Universe Mode. It was just a thing that just happened for them. It just naturally occurred. These two just ended up working so well together that they ended up essentially bringing those women's tag championships into Universe Mode. It was them. It was always going to be them from the SmackDown side that would be challenging for those when the championships were first introduced. Of course, they managed to defeat Shayna Baszler, Miss Money in the Bank, and Ronda Rousey to become the inaugural the women's tag team champions. And then went on to Clash of Champions to defend against the Iconics, managing to defeat them. And now Dakota going for a roll-up on Bayley. 1, 2. And we know how loyal Bayley is to Sasha Banks. Right before Clash of Champions, Sasha Banks beat Toni Storm to win that SmackDown Women's Championship, but Toni Storm was allowed to choose her competitor for that match, and she chose that it would either be Sasha Banks or Bayley, given their wins leading up to it. And so it was Sasha Banks and Bayley on the last SmackDown before Clash of Champions, and Sasha, she had no issue taking it to Bayley, no issue at all. But Bayley, she struggled. She really struggled with the idea of having to fight her best friend. She didn't like it at all. It was really not really a very good match for Bayley. She just didn't know how to do it. Sasha Banks kind of took advantage of this to be able to pick up the victory, and not in like a cheeky, mean way, but just in this is a wrestling match. It doesn't matter who my friends are. The championship is what matters. Bayley could not look past the friendship she had with Sasha Banks. And hopefully that is going to be what helps them here tonight to get a victory as the tag team champions. Because for as long as Sasha Banks is holding that SmackDown Women's Championship, you know Bayley is not going to go anywhere near it. Bayley is not going to want to go anywhere near Sasha Banks. Not going to want to be in the ring with her again. Dakota getting that near fall there on Sasha Banks. But Sasha, wait a second. The neck breaker to Dakota Kai in the middle of the ring. Is that enough to put away Dakota? 1, 2. No. Dakota Kai still hanging on in there in this one. And now Dakota back to her feet straight away, looking to punish Sasha Banks for giving her the time to get back to her feet. Now Dakota throwing Sasha into the corner of the house, looking for that big boot, it looks like. No, instead, she's going for something else. Not what I expected. Going for a sunset flip instead. And now Sasha, Meteora to Dakota Kai, taking her down, catching her out of nowhere. And now Sasha going for that tag to her best friend Bayley. Of course, Bayley did lose to Dakota Kai last week on SmackDown on the Go Home show before Hell in a Cell. Dakota Kai managed to defeat Bayley in the middle of the ring, but Sasha Banks beat Nia the week before, so you never know. This has been a 1-1 in this feud. Either one of these women, either one of these teams, I should say, could come out on top very easily, and I wouldn't be surprised. Wait a second, though. Samoan drop onto Bayley. Is that enough to end this match for the Women's Tag Team Championships and have the champions retain? 1, 2. Sasha Banks breaking it up just in time, and now Dakota taking down Banks in the middle of the ring. Nia chasing, well, not chasing her off, but threatening Sasha Banks right now and going after her, pulling her off the apron, knocking her head first onto the hardest part of the ring. Trying to take out Sasha Banks so that she can't interfere, so that she can pin Bayley in the middle of the ring, it looks like. I think Nia is looking for that tag to Dakota, so Dakota can end it with that chiropractor. And Nia getting that tag. Dakota now double teaming. And here it is, the move that put away Bayley on SmackDown, the chiropractor. Sasha Banks still out on the floor. Sasha Banks still out. Rope break though. Bayley so lucky to be able to get her hand on that bottom rope to prevent the pinfall there. I thought that was going to be it for Bayley, but she has hung on for her best friend, Sasha Banks. But she still has to survive this onslaught from Dakota Kai right now, the leader of Team Kick. Dakota pulling Bayley back to her feet. She is so stuck in the wrong corner right now. Bayley needs to get over, get that tag to Sasha. But Bayley is stuck in the wrong corner. But Bayley is managing to fight her way back right now. Wait a second. Oh, taking down Dakota over the knee of Bayley. And Bayley looking for that tag. Is she going to get it? Yes, she does. Getting the tag to the SmackDown Women's Champion, Sasha Banks. And now Sasha needs to get in there and take advantage of the Dakota Kai, who is just out in the middle of the ring. But Nia Jax trying to get in, but the referee not allowing it to happen. But I think that was enough of a distraction for Dakota Kai to be able to get out of it and hit an enziguri on Sasha. And now Nia getting in the ring, looking to attack Sasha Banks, and Dakota just standing in the corner, letting it happen. This is not okay. The referee should be stopping this. I know he's counting down. He's counting to 5, but he should be stopping Nia from doing this. This is blatant cheating, but Sasha Banks getting her knees up. So Nia Jax didn't notice. Nia Jax didn't know she was leaving the ring. And Sasha got her knees up from the splash from Dakota Kai, and now taking her down with the Bulldog. Sasha trying to get the tag into Bayley, but Bayley is completely out of it. Sasha Banks forced to stay in the match right now. And Dakota looking to tag into Nia Jax, but Sasha reversing. And now Sasha throwing Dakota in the corner, hoping that Bayley is back on her feet this time. And yes, she is. Wait a second though. Not going for the tag. Sasha Banks instead looking to drop those knees into the gut of Dakota Kai. Up to the top where she goes. Oh my goodness. Oh, such a brutal move by Sasha Banks. That Meteora to the midsection of Dakota Kai. From the top rope, just bending her back. It is not a nice move to take in the slightest. This could be the real turning point that the Hug and Boss connection have been looking for in this match. Dakota Kai down on the mat right now. Sasha Banks getting her straight back up. Is she going to be looking for it? Dakota though catching the leg. Knee to the face. Big knee to the face. But Sasha catching Dakota before Dakota can run over to Nia for the tag. But wait a second. Flipping into the ring over the top rope. Going into the pin for 1, 2. But Bayley breaking it up, kicking to the back of Dakota Kai. But Dakota now knocking Bayley off the ring apron. Sasha taking advantage of this. But Dakota getting the big reversal instead. Wait a second. Over she goes and down onto her back goes Dakota Kai. Sasha Banks celebrating right now. And now slamming her foot and her knee, pressing down on Dakota Kai's face in that bottom turnbuckle. Dakota really needs the tag to Nia Jax right now. Wait a second, Sasha setting up for that neck breaker to Dakota. This could be it. This could be it for Dakota. Dakota miles away from her tag team partner. Sasha going for the pin. 1, 2. Oh no, Dakota just kicked out Nia Jax. Wouldn't have got there in time. That would have been it. But Dakota somehow being able to kick out, finding somewhere the ability to kick out. And now Dakota trying to get back into this with the big boot to the corner from the captain of Team Kick. Sasha out in the middle of the ring right now. The SmackDown Women's Champion is in a very bad position. Wait a second, Kai. The chiropractor. Chiropractor to Sasha Banks. And 1, 2. Oh my goodness. Still your women's tag team champions, Dakota Kai and Nia Jax. But you also can't look past the fact Dakota Kai just pinned the SmackDown Women's Champion. Surely that has got to mean something going forward. Surely Dakota Kai is going to have a future opportunity at that SmackDown Women's Championship after pinning the champion in the middle of the ring. Chiropractor, and that was it. That chiropractor is a deadly move. And still, undefeated as a tag team. Dakota Kai and Nia Jax proving perhaps they are the best. Perhaps they are the best champions here in WWE. These guys have been on a complete tear. But now we move on to our WWE Championship match. Finn Balor, the challenger here. Of course, Finn won a Battle Royal a few weeks ago, an 8-man Battle Royal. Last eliminating Dolph Ziggler. Finn Balor made his big return in that Battle Royal, just like Dolph Ziggler had made his debut. And let's be honest, Dolph Ziggler didn't appreciate the fact that Finn Balor had eliminated him and stolen his moment. Dolph Ziggler attacking Finn Balor the next week on Raw. And then out came Sheamus, the brute. Sheamus, that Irishman. He came out looking to take advantage of Finn Balor, but the champion has been at Finn's side every step of the way throughout this. But it did cost the champion, it cost him dearly. Drew McIntyre got pinned by Sheamus in the middle of the ring because he came out to save Finn Balor and had a match he wasn't even supposed to have. And well, Sheamus is going to be watching this match very, very closely indeed, because he feels like he should be the number one contender. He should be the man getting this opportunity. But instead, Finn Balor, the contract had already been signed for a one-on-one contest between Finn Balor and Drew McIntyre at Hell in a Cell. So Sheamus instead has to watch in the backstage area, but I'm sure Drew McIntyre would love to get his hands on him as well. Drew has been helping Finn Balor deal with these guys, not wanting to have a weakened opponent to Hell in a Cell. Drew wants to face Finn Balor at his utmost best. That's what he wants. He wants a fair opponent. He wants a fair matchup. He doesn't want to take a man who has been beaten and who has no energy left in him. Like, if he just left Finn Balor, sure, Drew wouldn't have taken a pinfall loss, but would Finn even be here with this match? Like, Finn would have been attacked every single week in a 2-on-1 assault if it wasn't for Drew McIntyre. And I'm sure Drew would much rather have an opponent that he feels like that could be a real challenge. It's a real interesting fight for Drew, this. The size difference, the athleticism of Finn Balor. Finn Balor is a man who is never going to tire in the ring. But Drew McIntyre has that strength advantage. Just look at it in the way he lifted Finn Balor up there, planting him down like that. It's going to be a very interesting contest indeed to see who can go. Can Finn Balor survive long enough? Because if this match goes long enough, I think this is Finn's match. If he can get this match to last long enough. But Drew McIntyre, I don't know if he's going to let it go that long. Drew McIntyre is going to be giving Finn all he has. These two men from the British Isles as well. Bit of a personal history there between these two men. Drew getting Finn up to his feet and now looking to slam him into the mat. Wait a second though, Drew. Oh my goodness, just tossing Finn Balor out of the ring, picking him over the head and just throwing him out like he is nothing. Now that shows the strength of Drew McIntyre, if nothing else. That shows how strong this man is. My goodness indeed. But Finn Balor managed to take advantage, knocking Drew down on the outside. Drew perhaps taking a little bit too long to get out there. Allow Finn Balor to get back to his feet, and now Finn throwing the Scotsman back into the ring and trying to kick to the foot of Drew McIntyre. But Drew was ready for Finn, taking him over the top of the fireman's carry. They're getting the reversal, landing that big punch to the face, and now over he goes. Oh my goodness, up for the suplex, and then Drew just throwing him off it. Not even guiding Finn Balor down, just throwing him out of that suplex. But Finn keeps being able to get those reversals and keeps being able to get back on top of Drew McIntyre, and now throwing those punches into the corner. But Drew throwing off Finn Balor. Finn was trying to get in those 10 big punches, but instead Drew managing to prevent it after only 2. And now Drew getting Finn up. Oh my goodness, pile driver so early on. Oh my goodness. 1. Oh, Finn Balor somehow being able to kick out a 1 from that pile driver there from Drew McIntyre. That was unexpected completely. And now Drew, wait a second, trying to submit Balor. Trying to submit him, but letting go of the hold instead. Just wanting to weaken Finn Balor, it looks like. Now laying in those kicks to the midsection. Getting him up to his feet, and that Glasgow kiss headbutt. Drew McIntyre feeling like this is already over before it's already begun. And now going for that pinfall. 1. Only a 1 help. My goodness, Finn Balor not giving up easily in this one. Like I said, if this match goes long, this is Finn Balor's match. But when it goes short, this is Drew's match. 100% of the time, this is Drew's match. He's laying in those punches to Finn Balor. The question is whether Finn can survive the onslaught of Drew McIntyre, reversing the chop to get the chop back to McIntyre and then taking him down with those big kicks to the face. And now Finn taking Drew down, working on the back of McIntyre right now, getting him back up to his feet. And what is Finn looking for here? Looking to get into the corner. Is he going to be setting up for that big drop kick? I think he might be. Putting Drew in position, And yes, he is. Finn Balor going into the other corner, looking to land that huge drop kick to the midsection of McIntyre, hitting him into the turnbuckles. Continuing to work on that back of McIntyre. There's scene 2 where Finn Balor was pinpointed in this match, pinpointing the back of McIntyre, looking to perhaps do a lot more damage with that coup de grace. But Finn needs to be able to get up though. He needs to get up to that top rope, hit that coup de grace, but Drew McIntyre straight back up, chopping Finn Balor down, chopping him down like a tree. My goodness indeed, Drew McIntyre now. Finn though getting himself back up, catching Drew with the kick, and now Finn going up to the top rope, Finn going up. Can Finn get the big victory with the coup de grace? Coup de grace to McIntyre. Is that enough? Can Finn put away the WWE Champion? 2. Oh my goodness, Drew McIntyre. Kicking out of the coup de grace. And now Finn getting Drew up to his feet. Not going to let Drew get a second to rest. That is what he needs to do. He needs to keep on taking it to Drew McIntyre. That is definitely the strategy. And that Bayley kick from Finn Balor, catching Drew McIntyre off guard. This is definitely the strategy of Balor right now. And they're working on the arm of Drew McIntyre. Just continue to take it to McIntyre. We've seemed to be gone long enough now. We're getting to that point where perhaps Drew is getting a bit tired, and Finn, he is not going to give up. But wait a second, perhaps I spoke too soon. Future Shock DDT to Balor. 1, 2. No, Finn Balor. Finn Balor kicking out of the Future Shock DDT. Now Drew. Oh no, Finn, this is not looking good. Drew McIntyre going to the corner. He is setting up. He is calling for it. Finn needs to get out of the way. He needs to move. But no! Claymore kick to the side of the face. 1, 2, 3. And Finn Balor's championship dreams have been dashed. Drew McIntyre picking up the huge victory here tonight over Finn Balor. And wow, what a match between these two men. They really went at it in this one. Finn Balor got so close with that coup de grace, but Drew said no. We were almost at the point of the match where Finn had the advantage. We were getting there, but Drew, he had that one last bit of energy in him to hit that Future Shock DDT, and then the Claymore straight to the middle of the face of Finn Balor, and that was all it took. Finn did as much as he could. He kicked out as much as he could, but that Claymore was too much. But here he is, still the WWE Champion, Drew McIntyre, standing tall here tonight. But wait a second, Sheamus, oh, from behind, Sheamus attacking Drew McIntyre from behind, and wait a second, Sheamus now picking up that WWE Championship. Come on, Sheamus, don't do this, Sheamus, oh my goodness. Well, Sheamus still clearly has his eyes on Drew McIntyre. My goodness indeed, but we move on to our main event of the evening. It is a 6-man Hell in a Cell. And this is for those Raw Tag Team Championships, but the primary focus of this match, we've got to focus on The Fiend and AJ Styles. The Fiend kidnapping AJ Styles. He took him, tried to indoctrinate him into this cult of The Fiend has. I don't know how to describe it necessarily, but this weird, I don't even know, this fiendish cult that he has. He tried to bring AJ into it, but AJ, he has two strong wills of mind. He has been fighting back against The Fiend, not allowing himself to join, and it has all led to this. The Fiend laid the challenge down. The Fiend and the Hardy Boys, the altered Hardy Boys by his side, and they put the challenge out to AJ Styles and the club. If AJ loses this match, we've got to think he is going to be taken in by this cult. He is going to be taken in by The Fiend, and he's going to have to. That is going to be it for AJ Styles. Who knows what he'll be? He'll be forced to put on one of those masks like the Hardy Boys have. One of those Fiend masks. But hopefully not. AJ Styles needs to get this victory. This could be the biggest match of his career here tonight. And I think luckily for him, he has his two good friends by his side, the Good Brothers, Anderson and Gallows. They did not give up the search to find AJ Styles, trying to get him back. I'm sure they may have come up short at Clash of Champions. It was the club versus the Altered Hardy Boys at Clash of Champions, and things didn't go too well for the club, but tonight could be different. It's a Hell in a Cell. It's a very different environment. But you can't forget, the Fiend and the Altered Hardy Boys, they are all undefeated. The Fiend undefeated just entirely, and the Hardys, well, they are undefeated in tag team action. But let's get things started. The Fiend immediately taking down Styles, middle of the ring. But I think the Fiend is not going to take his eyes off of Styles in this one. He is going to want to take out AJ Styles. He wants AJ inside of the cult. He needs him in the cult. And I can understand why AJ Styles is a formidable opponent, but Gallows getting the Fiend up and landing him down on that leg. Wait a second, they're going for the pinfall. Is Jeff on AJ Styles, but AJ managed to kick out another Fiend back to AJ Styles, not letting up on AJ. Gallows, the big man, thrown to the outside right now, and the Fiend also rolling out. AJ Styles taking Jeff off the top rope. And now we're in a 2-on-1 situation. Matt Hardy caught between Carl Anderson and AJ Styles right now. And wait a second, Gallows back to his feet as well. 3-on-1 situation right now. This is not where you want to be if you're Matt Hardy. The Fiend and Jeff Hardy out on the outside. And Matt Hardy just being picked on right now by the Fiend. And Jeff Hardy back in the ring. And the Fiend straight back after AJ Styles. Straight after him. But wait a second, Gallows looking to hit a big move on Jeff, but Jeff instead catching him down with that reverse DDT. The Fiend and AJ Styles, centre of the ring, these two, they will not go away from each other. The Fiend does not want to leave AJ Styles alone, it appears like. And honestly, that focus seems to be costing him a little bit in this one. Whenever Gallows or Anderson just managed to jump in, take away his attention from AJ Styles, it has not been too good for the Fiend in this one so far. And again, 2-on-1 situation, but Carl Anderson instead of rolling out the ring, we're back to a 1-on-1. AJ Styles and Matt Hardy centre of the ring, but Gallows getting back up, and Anderson in the ring as well. We're back to a 3-on-1 for the club. The club, perhaps they know how to work better as a team, because they managed to take out the other two men very easily. They've been working well to take out the other man, and straight away the Fiend going straight off to AJ. Doesn't care that Matt Hardy was being hit by a running powerbomb. And AJ Styles rolling out of the ring, and the Fiend just following out. The Fiend following AJ to the outside. Now Gallows and Matt Hardy middle of the ring, catching him with a big roundhouse kick to Matt Hardy. And now Jeff, wait a second, twist of fate to Anderson. 1, 2, no, only a 1 count there, unbelievable. Somehow he managed to kick out by the Fiend, throwing AJ Styles back in the ring, but AJ rolling out again. Clever of AJ Styles, he does not want to get pinned by the Fiend. He knows the Fiend is the most dangerous man in this match. And as much as he wants to put an end to this, you've got to think there is an easier way of ending this. It is going to be far easier if someone pins one of the other two. Pinning the Fiend, I don't know if anyone can do that. Wait a second. Jeff Hardy catching AJ Styles, taking him down face first. Everyone else is out. Jeff Hardy trying to take advantage of what the Fiend has done in this match to AJ Styles. Can Jeff do it? And now the tides have turned back into a 2-on-1 position here. AJ Styles alone in the ring with both of the Hardy Boys. He really needs some support right now. That is what he desperately needs. Wait a second, bit of miscommunication. Matt Hardy accidentally taken down by Jeff. Wait a second, Gallows though. Gallows back in the ring. Anderson back in the ring. Gallows, he's got Matt Hardy. Twist of fate though. Twist of fate from Jeff to Anderson. And Gallows with the big choke slam to Matt Hardy. Both going for the pin. The Fiend though back to his feet. 1, 2. Oh, everyone kicking out. Everyone kicking out. Unbelievable. The Fiend staring at AJ, hitting that cannonball to AJ in the corner. He just can't let him go. He can't stop focusing on the Fiend. On AJ, I should say. Wait a second. Mandible claw. But AJ managed to get the punch, then punching to the face, so he managed to get out of the mandible claw. I don't know how he did it, but he did. He managed to get out of that mandible claw. Matt Hardy going for the pin for 1, 2. Only a 2 count. AJ breaking it up. It was almost over for the club there. AJ's freedom was almost taken away from him right there. And now Matt Hardy looking to take advantage. Big leg drop to Gallows. And now AJ Styles going after Matt Hardy. Look to break the leg of Hardy. Oh my goodness. Brutal from AJ Styles, and Gallows now helping AJ. To the two men teaming up, 2-on-1 situation again for the club. The numbers have definitely worked in the favour of the club. And wait a second. Styles clash. Styles clash. Is that enough? 1, 2. Yes, it is. Unbelievable. They've won. AJ Styles is free from this cult. He is free from the Fiend. AJ Styles is free. Unbelievable there. And we have new Raw Tag Team Champions. AJ Styles has gifted the club with the Raw Tag Team Championships. He pinned one of the Hardy Boys with the Styles Clash in the middle of the ring while the Fiend was out on the outside. The Fiend's obsession with AJ, I think it really cost him in this one. It cost the team. It just meant that they weren't working as a unit. The Hardys, the Altered Hardys, trying to work hard to keep those tag championships with the Fiend. All he cared about was AJ Styles. But my goodness, tonight, AJ Styles in the club stand tall. And what a night it has been. And we still have a part 2 to come up. But wait a second. What is going on? The Fiend and AJ, the cage is back down. The Fiend has brought the cage back down. Now it's just these two men in the middle of the ring. Wait a second, but AJ looking to take advantage. AJ taking advantage. Wait a second, the Styles Clash. Is he going for it? Is he going to hit the Styles Clash on the Fiend? Yes, he does. Oh my goodness. This is the first time we've seen someone have the Fiend's number like this. AJ looking down at the Fiend. Looking down at the fact that he no longer has to deal with this. He now has his freedom back. He is not going to have to be part of this. And now AJ calling for that phenomenal for him. I cannot believe this. Wait a second, what? Wait a second. Oh no, the Fiend. He teleports away, teleporting away. Come on. AJ's gone. AJ has gone, and the Fiend celebrating like he has won. He has not won anything here tonight. He has lost. He has cheated his way. But wait a second, Aleister Black. Aleister Black. What is Aleister Black doing here? Aleister Black taking it to the Fiend. He is the first man to come out and take it to the Fiend. Unbelievable. Aleister Black attacking the Fiend, having enough of the Fiend's nonsense here on Monday Night Raw. And Aleister Black is the man to say enough is enough, and he is taking down the Fiend right now. The Fiend completely caught off guard, not being able to get away from Aleister Black, not being able to teleport away like he just did with AJ Styles. He has been caught off guard by Aleister Black. Unbelievable stuff. Still our United States champion. And he's here taking down the Fiend. Unbelievable stuff here right now. Big kick to the side of the head. Oh my goodness. Aleister Black just knocked the Fiend out in the middle of the ring. Wow. What an episode. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on part 2